Friday night. It is Friday night. It is THT movie review. Haha, how do you like that?
Yeah.
Yes, we have changed. I believe we've officially made it THT movie review, right, Anthony?
Yep. THT movie review.
It works. You know,
It definitely works.
THT podcast for the Mixler. It just joins it in, and we can all just be a happy family. I like it. I like it.
Yes. So yeah, we also got the Facebook page, Facebook group, THT movie review. And we got the Twitter page at THT movie review. So look us up on Twitter, follow us there, join the group, now get some conversation started.
Yep.
Any recommendations that you want us to review? Hey, hit us up.
That's right. Email us, thtmoviereview@gmail.com. We're on YouTube now, THT Movie Review on YouTube. Find us on iTunes, same thing, THT Movie Review. So there you go. Plugs at the beginning of the show. Shaheen will be proud.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. Let's see here. We're going to get into Judd Nelson tonight.
Judd motherfucking Nelson.
Judd.
It's too underrated.
Nelson. You know what? You just said it. He's underrated.
Yes.
He's an underrated actor. He's had a few demons that have followed him around. That might be one reason he's a little bit underrated. But he's actually been in a lot of shit, man. This guy's been acting since technically 1983. 1983, he did a little movie called Rock and Roll Hotel.
Huh?
I can't even find it. That's how little this movie was. But Judd Nelson was in a movie that I actually posted on the Facebook, if anybody saw the trailer, or the little post I posted that me and Anthony were going live. Making the Grade was his first movie in 1984. You've heard me talk about this movie, right, Anthony?
Many times.
Many times. It is a great movie. Judd Nelson is in it. Andrew Dice Clay is in it.
Dice Clay.
He plays Dice, the bookie. Basically, to let everyone know what it's about, it's a 1984 movie. Spoiled rich young man hires a young hustler, Judd Nelson, also Eddie Keaton, who lives in a broken car and owes money to a dicey loan shark named Andrew Dice Clay, Dice Man, to take his place in an elite prep school. So basically, a rich guy hires a homeless kid to go to prep school for him. Of course, he falls in love. And Gordon Jump is in this movie. If you ever saw WKRP in Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah, the bald guy with the glasses, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gordon Jump. He was the boss of WKRP in Cincinnati. So he was in that. That was really his first on-screen movie role. Now, while we're talking about this movie, I don't know if a lot of people know about this, but there was supposed to be a sequel to this movie called Tourista.
Wow.
You were supposed to see Palmer, who was the rich guy, Palmer Woodrow, Palmer and Eddie, which really was, Judd Nelson. You were supposed to see them in another movie, but the movie never got made. It never got off its feet, never got funding. So what was supposed to happen never did. We got one awesome movie with those guys in it. This is a very underrated, very obscure movie. Like, I had to call Blockbusters to find this movie on VHS, put it that way.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of movies like that, and, not to get off topic here, but you'll find, like, a lot of the best movies are movies you've really never heard of and you find by accident.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This definitely is a movie to watch. Like I said, it's on YouTube. Make sure you type in Making the Grade 1984, because there is another one out there that's a newer movie. But this movie from 1984 was Judd Nelson's pretty much first major movie role. Even though it's an obscure movie, I mean, come on, 1984, what are you going to do? But definitely a movie worth checking out. He was also in a movie called Fandango after that with, I believe this movie had Kevin Costner in it, if I'm not mistaken. And yes, I said Fandango.
Yes.
And yes, it was Kevin Costner. I probably should not know that.
So apparently the movie studios beat the movie website and the the wrestler. They beat both of them to the copyright punch.
Yeah, they did, man. 1985 that movie was in. Then, of course, also in 1985, we got, which I'm sure probably 90% of people know Judd Nelson for, The Breakfast Club, where he was John Bender.
Yes, classic, classic, classic.
Classic movie, tons of quotable lines from this movie. The beginning of the Brat Pack, not Rat Pack, Brat Pack.
Yeah.
And just an all-around great... I mean, that...
It's timeless. I mean,
timeless.
About the only negative thing to it is when you watch it, it's kind of like, if you watch like The Honeymooners and I Love Lucy, for example, those are timeless, but they're also dated. So in other words, a lot of what they did back then don't apply to today. So a lot of the slang, a lot of the way they dress don't apply to today's times. But the core concepts resonate to me from generation to generation. I mean, everybody goes through shit in high school. Everybody knew people like this. Everybody was this person in high school. So in that respect, it's timeless. Any generation can watch this movie and go, I related to it. I went through that in high school. I was that guy. I was that girl in high school.
Either you were that guy or you knew that guy or that girl. You know, even if it wasn't you, you could relate it to someone you knew. Everyone had the jock, Emilio Estevez. Anthony Michael Hall was the nerd. Everyone had the weird Ali Sheedy, the
princess, Molly Ringwald.
Yeah, I never understood why everyone thought she was so hot. But yeah, the little preppy, popular girl, and Molly Ringwald. You had every one of those girls in your school.
Yes.
And the principal was Paul Gleason, who
great, rest in peace to him. He was he's another guy. He's fucking great.
We'll have to get into him one night too, because he's been in a ton of movies. I mean, Die Hard,
Trading Places. He was fucking phenomenal in.
And he came back and made fun of his role from Breakfast Club and Not Another Teen Movie.
Yes, they didn't change a thing.
No, he even
that's how horns. Iconic that movie is. They didn't change a thing.
Mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Yes, but Breakfast Club, as great as it was, regardless of what character you personally related to, everybody wanted to be Judd Nelson. He was the badass. Everybody wants to be the badass.
And he was the badass in the movie. He was the bad boy that the good girls wanted. And that movie right there, we've already said it, you can relate to it, but everything in that movie is relatable. From the girl you never thought you'd get, next thing you know you are. It's just such a great fucking movie, and like you said, timeless movie.
Timeless. I don't know about you. Obviously, it's a teen comedy, but one of the parts to this day that really gets to me from that movie, you remember when they did like the round table, like to set the stage for people. Basically, the movie is about 5 people who they've been to this high school, I guess, roughly 4 years. They really don't explain the timeline about how long they've been in school, but basically, it's 5 people. They've been in the same school. And they know each other, they know of each other, but they didn't know each other. You know what I mean? They see each other around. And they had to spend a Saturday in detention. Wow. And that shows you how dated this shit is, because when's the last time you heard of somebody doing Saturday detention?
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. And basically, the movie starts off, they don't know a thing about each other. They just basically are just content to, just sit there for the 8 hours or however long they had to be there and just do whatever they had to do and just get the fuck on. But along the way, start talking to each other, and they start off as enemies, and by the end of the movie, they start off as friends. some relationships, love even flourishes between a couple of the characters. But there's one part in the movie where they do like a round table. I think that 70s show where everybody's puff puff pass, and that's when to me the movie really kind of has its heart. Its heart is that heartwarming moment, so to speak, where they kind of go around and they basically talk to each other, and you really that's when they come to an understanding of why they are the way they are. Like Emilio Estevez, especially, that's when it really kind of got deep.
Well, Anthony Michael Hall.
Yeah, oh yeah, him too, yeah.
Yeah, when he was talking about the gun, the flare gun in his
Yeah.
locker.
No, yeah, I would say Anthony Michael Hall with the gun, because he, all jokes aside, he basically is talking about being suicidal because he got like a B.
Right.
Emilio, even though it was meant to be fun, it was meant to be a serious moment when he said he had taped somebody's buns together.
Emilio Estevez, yeah.
And then Anthony Michael Hall said, "You know him?" Yeah.
That was a great moment in that movie, though, because how many times did you actually sit with your friends? Next thing you know, you're smoking. Next thing you know, you're talking about shit you shouldn't be talking about, and you're like, whoa, man. This is getting too deep.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me...
What?
Like you said, I mean, she wasn't the most attractive woman in the movie. I mean, Molly Ringwald, she's not ugly, but they tried to play her up as like the quote-unquote sex symbol. What did you think about her role? Did you think, how'd you like, she went, obviously, by the end of the movie, she wound up with Judd Nelson. I'm sorry, spoiler alert.
Oops.
Judd Nelson winds up getting with Molly Ringwald by the end of the movie. Did you think if they had made a sequel, hypothetically, do you think they mesh well in terms of like the relationship dynamic?
Yeah, they probably did. And, they tried to make Molly Ringwald hot in so many other movies.
Yeah, she was. I mean, like I said, she's not ugly, so I'm not going to, if she ever hears this, she probably won't, but she's not ugly per se, but she's not the sex symbol they tried to make her. They tried to make her the sex symbol in Pretty in Pink and 16 Candles, and I'm sorry, she just never did it, I wasn't, like I said, I was just born in the 80s, I wasn't coming up in that era, so if somebody's listening right now, call in and just tell us, were you attracted to Molly Ringwald in 1985? Because she just, honestly, she never struck me as like that type. In fact, I was more attracted to what's the chick's, Jennifer Grey from Ferris Bueller.
Dirty Dancing, Ferris Bueller. Yeah, I got that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't ugly. I'm not going to say that, but they were all just trying to find out if she was a real redhead.
Yeah, the scene. I swear, there's so many scenes from that movie. But remember the scene, I guess, where John Bender, Judd Nelson's character, got banished to the, I guess, like the equipment closet or the storage closet or something, and then he basically crawled through the vents to get back.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit! And then a principal comes running back and he does the deal where he hides under the desk and he winds up under Molly Ringwald's desk. The famous scene.
And he's telling the joke while he's walking through the...
Yeah.
Yep. And we never get the punchline to that joke, but I believe we found out that there actually was no punchline to that joke.
Forgot my pencil.
Yeah, forgot my pencil. What a great fucking movie. Let's see. We probably should go on... we could probably talk Breakfast Club forever.
Yeah, but obviously this is the Judd Nelson show.
Yeah,
let's go on here.
Let's jump one more. Same year, Judd Nelson had a great 1985, 1986, 1987, 1989. But in '85, he put out a third movie, John Shoemaker's St. Elmo's Fire.
Yes, another classic movie. I mean, once again, that Brat Pack, they're intertwined, and I think Demi Moore was added to the mix in this one.
Demi Moore was added to the mix in this one. Rob Lowe was added to the mix in this one. Andrew McCarthy, correct? Who I like Andrew McCarthy. He's done a few good movies.
I did too. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there was a few in this one, but this movie was another. What was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 friends get together and basically find out what their life is going to be after college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll agree on this, box, but I actually like movies like this that it's really no plot other than just the human experience. You talk to people, you get to know them. It's anybody that hasn't seen St. Elmo's Fire, it's basically a Friday night or a Saturday night out on the town with your friends, and you get to know each other and you talk. And then, like, normally, honestly, anybody that's listening to this can relate. Whenever you go out with your friends on a Friday or Saturday night, you start drinking and eating, things come out, you get to know people better. People that you've known 20, 30 years, you're still finding out new shit about them.
Yeah, and real life struggles kind of set in with them. All the Demi Moore gets a job and then gets a little too involved with her boss, gets fired, and she's doing coke the whole movie. Rob Lowe is a piece of shit trying to cheat on his wife, banging anything that moves.
Yeah.
Andrew McCarthy is a lovesick pussy whip pansy piece of shit, like he actually is in every goddamn movie. What the fuck, man?
Yeah. Once again, I guess, this is all interrelated. Since we're talking about the Brat, I mean, this obviously is about Judd Nelson, but, he's intertwined with that Brat Pack for life. Mm-hmm. Did you notice that, like, all of the characters involved in that group, whatever movie it was, maybe it's because they mostly worked with John Hughes throughout that 80s, early 90s run, they always played the same general characters, and the only thing that changed was the name.
Of course. And, well, that's kind of why it became the Brat Pack. And the funny thing is, this wasn't even... People somehow figure this was a John Hughes movie, but it wasn't. All these characters just ended up getting cast in this movie.
Yeah.
But this was not a John Hughes movie. This was, like I said, director was Joel... I'm sorry, I said John Shoemaker. I meant Joel Shoemaker. I think it's Schumacher, actually. But yeah, I mean, this was another good movie. Judd Nelson's character in this movie, again, he kind of plays the badass. He's always sort of the badass.
Yes.
And he's got it all together. He's got the great job, but he's cheating on Ali Sheedy all over the place. She finds out, but he's again the guy that they focus on in this movie. A lot of movies, he played that main character, and again, he was just an underrated actor.
Yes, yeah, and like I said, he generally speaking, very few. I mean, I'm pretty sure if we stopped and thought about it, he probably played the good guy character in a movie here, a movie there. But for the most part, he always shined as the badass, as the anti-hero, as the. It's hard to explain. He would play the piece of shit role, but he had a certain charisma about him that you still wanted him to come out on top, even though you knew in the end he wouldn't.
Do you think his nostrils kept him out of Hollywood? Do you think that's what it was?
Come on, everybody, allegedly, everybody in the 80s was coke feud. Everybody was doing something. You had to stay up.
But he does have some giant fucking nostrils, man.
Hey.
He really does.
He might have been born with a birth defect. We don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I guess, do you have anything more about St. Elmo's Fire, or?
No, just that it's a classic. Go look it up. Anything we're saying with Judd Nelson, even if you've never heard of it, do yourself a favor. The movie itself might be terrible, and I'm not talking about in St. Elmo's Fire, I'm just talking in general. The movie itself might be terrible, whatever we come up with, but the Judd Nelson himself is fucking amazing. It could be a shit movie, but he makes it fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Talked over my words there a little bit, but that's basically the point of what I'm trying to say.
Fine. And after St. Elmo's Fire, he kind of had a little slip for a little while, but he did a lot of voice work, though. He was in the Transformers movie back in 1986. He was Rodimus Prime, the Hot Rod. And then he did a movie, I bet I'm probably the only one around here that's seen this movie, too. One of my Judd Nelson favorites, From the Hip. Haven't seen this one either, have you, Anthony?
Sounds familiar.
From the Hip is...
As soon as you start talking about the plot line, I can probably tell you whether I've seen it or not.
It's a good movie. He's an apprentice lawyer, a new lawyer. His name is Robin Weathers. He goes by the moniker Stormy Weathers. And he turns these little cases into big cases. And it's a comedy. It's a really funny movie. But he plays a lawyer. David Alan Grier is in this movie. Give me a second. I'll pull it up here. David Alan Grier is in this movie. John Hurt is in this movie. Who else is in this movie that you might know? Probably no one else. The father from A Christmas Story is in this movie.
Ah, yeah. This is ringing a bell.
Okay. And he just plays a lawyer. But he gets basically him and another lawyer. They don't fix the case, but they conspire what they're going to say. And the case turns out to get a lot of media, and he gets a murder case from that case. John Hurt plays the murderer, and he is a creepy character. And Judd Nelson begins to suspect that he did it. His client did it. And he goes through the whole, what do I do? Do I, if I don't defend him now, I'm going to be disbarred. So, he goes through the whole thing, ends up getting the guy to sort of confess in the end on, while he's on the stand. And it's a great movie, but it's just another one of his Judd Nelson movies that's gone under the radar, but one of my favorites. I own this DVD.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Another movie we skipped over. I don't know if you ever seen it. Along those same lines, did you ever see a movie called Blue City?
I have not seen Blue City, and that's why I didn't mention it. It was in that the year before, 1986. I haven't seen that.
You should see it. I mean, it's pretty good. It's an underrated movie. Because I don't know, I would say between 86 and maybe 92, 93, Judd Nelson made a lot of underrated movies, with the exception of New Jack City, which we'll get to, that were straight to video or basically like independent. Some of them never even got a video release unless you taped it off of something, you couldn't get it. But yeah, this was another one of those movies that, in my opinion, was underrated. It didn't do well at the box office. It was him and Ali Sheedy.
Mm-hmm. I see that. And David Caruso.
Yeah.
He's another guy that I'm a fan of. Well,
and basically the plot line, I guess, to give people like a quick little overview of the movie, Judd Nelson plays a character by the name of Billy Turner. He learns that his father was killed. He goes back home to your old neck of the woods, Florida, Box. And he gets no help from the police, and he basically goes vigilante and goes and gets the guy himself.
I'll have to check that one out, man. 1986. I'll definitely check this movie out. I'll find it somewhere.
Yeah, Ali Sheedy is the love interest.
Of
and
course.
Once again, like, if you look at the movie poster, I'm pretty sure you can pull it up real quick.
I'm looking at it.
Judd Nelson got the gun like a badass. Just like, I don't know, man. It's just like, I don't know, man. He has, like, we always, not to go the wrestling route, but he's kind of like the opposite of like a Apollo Crews. He always has the same expression, but it just works for him for some reason.
He'd be like a Finn Balor. Just kind of, there's something about him. There's something. Just don't know what it is.
Yeah, but I don't know what it is. Like I said, it just works for him. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I hadn't seen that, which is why I skipped over it. But I'm glad you did. That was just another Judd Nelson movie we can add to the ticker of Judd Nelson movies tonight. Yeah.
Like I said, he's one of those guys that, we're going to get to a lot more movies of his as we go forward with the show. But, between me and you, we've probably seen a lot of movies that people never heard of with this guy. Because, like I said, he really is it's a shame through, maybe personal problems on his own account, or just the fact that Hollywood only saw him as John Bender. Because his biggest commercial hit is Breakfast Club. You could arguably say New Jack City is number 2, but most people see him as John Bender.
Most people didn't even fucking know that was him in New Jack City.
Yeah. Come to think of it, you're right. Because he had the beard, he cut his hair.
Yeah. In New Jack City, people think of Wesley Snipes and Ice-T.
Yeah.
That's about
Chris
it.
Rock, yeah.
Chris Rock, there you go. But, yeah, Pookie, there you go. One more movie, and then we will get to New Jack City, I promise. Because this is another one of my favorite movies, 1987, Billionaire Boys Club.
Yes, yes. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the whole thing, but I have seen it in bits and pieces over the years. It's a good movie from what I've seen.
This movie is scheduled to come for a re-release this year. This year or next year? Give me 2 seconds here. This year. This year will be scheduled to have a re-release this year, and it's brand new, I believe. They're completely remaking it. Same story, though. This is based on a true story, this movie, Billionaire Boys Club. A guy named Ron Levin, who's a wealthy businessman, has disappeared. No body is found, but there is a list with instructions in his house. And it was a recipe for murder. Basically, what happens is these kids, young kids, basically right out of college, form a business, and very successful business. And I believe they're in stocks. Basically, it's like a Wall Street kind of movie. They get involved with, goddamn, who is the guy? I know his name. Give me 2 seconds here. Who is the guy in the movie? It is... What is his name? Why wouldn't it have him fucking right up here? Ron Silver.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Ron Silver, who I believe was... yeah, he was in Ali and he was in Time Cop, just to get a little reference off that. Ron Silver, they end up killing Ron Silver in this movie, Ron Levin. And basically, from the middle of the movie to the end is them trying to cover it up. So it's a really good movie. Judd Nelson plays Joe Hunt, who is the main character in the movie. He is a cold-hearted, sadistic motherfucker in this movie. I mean, lines to where he talks about, right when we shot him with the shotgun, there was a point where his brain actually sat on top of his chest. And he's just telling the story so calmly, like he enjoyed it. It's really creepy. But that's another one of my underrated Judd Nelson favorites right there. Looks like I have 3 of them.
Yeah, well, yeah. I actually have another one that I've been trying to find like a bitch, but we'll get to New Jack City because this actually came out after that one.
We can go to New Jack City right now if you want to, because I know you haven't seen Billionaires Boys Club, so let's do New Jack City.
Cool.
I mean, what can you say?
Cool.
Let's face it, this was 1990. This movie here was the start of a lot of movies like it to follow.
Definitely.
Menace to Society, Juice,
Boys in the Hood, yeah.
Boys in the Hood. All those movies, came after this movie came out.
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's not a racial thing here, but New Jack City is to, I guess, urban movies what Goodfellas was to the mob genre. It really, I mean, like I said, I know a lot of people maybe give props to The Godfather, the original one, the first 2, which were great, but to me, mob movies and the mob genre, in my opinion, didn't really pick up steam and momentum until Goodfellas. After Goodfellas came out, then the floodgates really opened with mob movies.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you had Godfather, like you said, and a few others, but yeah, this is where they really started. Right after that movie, they really started making the real good. I mean, Gotti came after that.
Yeah, Bronx Tale. Well, not really a mob movie per se, but
no, it is. It is. It's still a mob movie. But I mean, back to New Jack City. Another underrated actor in New Jack City, Mario Van Peebles.
Oh yeah, man.
I like that guy. He doesn't get a lot of work though. He's another one just like fucking Judd Nelson.
Yeah, and Mario Van Peebles, in addition to being a hell of a good actor, is a director.
Mm-hmm.
Not to get sidetracked, but he's made a lot of fucking good movies, man. A lot of good movies.
Alan Payne was in New Jack City.
Yes.
Fucking CB4, man. He was in CB4.
Jason Blair, yeah, he was. Alan Payne, yeah, he's another guy that He flies under the radar, but he did a lot of quality movies in the '90s,
Oh
drama
yeah.
and comedy.
Oh yeah. He did, and he had a TV show. Mario Van Peebles had a TV show, Sunny Spoon.
Wow, this must have been short-lived.
It was very short-lived. Matter of fact, let me pull up how short-lived. I believe it was two. I'm going to say 2 seasons, and I might be going generous there. Sunny Spoon.
You are. We see it. It ran. No, actually, it ran from February 12th to December 6th, 1988.
1988, 1 year. Yep, Mario Van Peebles. I might have been the only person that watched it.
What was it? Was it a comedy? Was it a drama? What was the concept behind it?
It was basically, he was a private detective.
Ah.
And it was kind of like he would get into disguise all the time. It was stupid as hell now that I think about it.
I don't know, man. Look, come on. That's the premise of the show, though, man. We like the shit that most people don't like, because like I said, it was dumb fun.
Yeah. I mean, let's see.
I never watched it, but based on what I'm reading here through the synopsis, it sounds like it's something I would watch. It's dumb fun.
Yeah, it was kind of like what was a Master of Disguise, the Dana Carvey movie. He get into the disguise and go into places, and I don't know. It was like that. It was like Columbo with disguises.
And look, I mean, I guess the guy who was behind it, Stephen J. Cannell Productions. And not to go off on a little tangent here, but he's the guy that if you ever watch like those Murder, She Wrote or Madlock type shows, he's the guy that you see the typewriter, he throw the piece of paper, and has that little I can't really do it, but it's very catchy tune.
I know what you're talking about. Murder, She Wrote. There you go. Stephen J. Let's see. Yep. Yeah. Okay.
And I'm sorry, girl, because I grew up with a grandmother that loved Murder, She Wrote. And I didn't particularly care for Murder, She Wrote. I only know about it because it would always be the lead in the Raw.
Okay.
So whenever I used to hear that do, I knew Raw was about to start.
I'm going to give the guy a little bit of credit because he's done 21 Jump Street, the new one, and 22 Jump Street. He did the old A-Team and the new A-Team.
Wow.
I got to give this guy a little bit of credit. So, all right, Anthony, roll for a minute. Give me 2 seconds here.
No problem.
All right, get back to New Jack City.
Yeah, so just to tie back into New Jack City, it's an instant classic in my opinion. Nothing I really can add to it. Favorite scene from the movie, the iconic scene with Chris Rock. It'd be calling me, man. It'd be calling me. That's like, skinny ass. Think about it. Skinny ass Chris Rock was put on the map by that one line. I guarantee you, as much money as that man's made, he still probably has people approaching. Come on, do it for me one time. That's his line. That's people remember that line. If you don't remember anything else from New Jack City, you remember that scene.
You remember Pookie? Absolutely. That whole scene and the other one where he's yelling at the girl.
Yeah.
And the other line. Used to be prom queen, now you prom fiend.
Yeah, that was, my God, I ain't gonna lie though. That was like one of those, it was kind of sad when he got his life together and then, why they had to kill Pookie, man? Well, why he couldn't make it to the end of the movie? That really was kind of depressing.
It was, but another excellent movie. But I don't think anyone realized that was Judd Nelson. I'll tell you what, the first time I watched it, I didn't catch that was Judd Nelson until...
Till he took off the glasses? Because he wore sunglasses pretty much 90% of the movie.
Yeah, pretty much that's what I'm... and if it's funny, if you pull up the IMDb, the picture of him right there is from... The picture is from New Jack City. But, yeah, he played a badass cop in that movie.
Yeah.
A badass
it's
cop.
a shame, obviously, I guess Ice-T, ironically enough, he had a song called Fuck the Police, but he was a straight-edge cop in this, and Judd Nelson was the, not crooked cop, but he was kind of like the cop that didn't mind bending the rules, so to speak. but they really didn't explore that aspect. He kind of like was like a side character. He was a main character, but they really didn't really explore his character.
Yes, an Ice-T song was actually called Cop Killer.
Thank you.
It was not called Fuck the Police.
Even though he did say that, yeah, but it is Cop Killer.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, trust me. Cop Killer! See? Cop Killer.
Boxman, ladies and gentlemen.
I just happen to have that loaded up.
Nice.
Actually, I got the whole album right here. The whole Body Count album.
Yes.
Yeah, they had another great song called KKK Bitch.
Yes.
Yes. songs with the names like There Goes the Neighborhood.
Yes. Not to get sidetracked again, but my God, it's so ironic that, here's a guy who established himself as being anti-establishment, fuck the cops, fuck this one, fuck that one, but yet he's become famous for playing cops.
Yet
like to see Ice-T on Law and Order SVU these days, it's just like such a departure. Like he's actually playing like we got to do things by the book. That's just so bizarre to me to see.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's sort of like, some people will be like, oh, he sold out, went to TV playing a cop and this and that. It's kind of a fuck you to everybody out there. But you know what? The guy has been on that show since damn near the beginning. I mean, he started, late season 2?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Mid-season?
I haven't mid-second season. And the show's been on since, 1999, 2000.
Him and, what is it, Mariska, what's her name? Mariska Hargitay?
Yeah.
They're the only two left?
Yes, yeah. And I don't know about you, Box, but she's hot.
Oh, yeah.
She's aging very well.
Yeah, she is hot. She is very hot. And who's that? That's Jane Mansfield's daughter.
Oh, wow.
That's who that is. I don't know if you know Jane Mansfield was the old famous 60s, 70s actor.
Yeah, I know who it is. I never put them together. Relation-wise.
That's her daughter right there. Yeah, she is a good-looking woman.
Good genetics.
I forgot she was in she was in Lake Placid right in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised she didn't do more movies. She definitely can. I don't know. Maybe she decided not to explore that route. I mean, I know she's known for like the Law and Order, and it'd be hard to kind of like picture in anything else. But surprised she hasn't done more movies.
She did, and she was also in one episode of Seinfeld, maybe 2, but I know 1.
See, that's where Tommy would come in handy here, because I don't recall. I mean, I know a lot of people like popped up on Seinfeld over the years, but for some reason I don't remember seeing her on there.
Yeah, she was on Seinfeld once, and I agree with Weebs. MILF. MILF. MILF.
MILF.
MILF.
MILF.
MILF. MILF. MILF.
Yes.
All right.
MILF. Nice. Thanks, Weebs. Thanks.
Thanks, man. After I guess we keep going off different actors, but he was great in that role as Nick Peretti, the cop. Not a huge role for him, but after this movie, he did a few things after that. He did a Tales from the Crypt. I haven't seen any of the other movies. I don't know if you're on IMDb, but the next movie I saw of his was Airheads.
Pre-Airheads, I actually have one that I did see. Came out in 1993. It was an independent, straight to VHS at the time. Movie called Conflict of Interest.
You told me about this one a few weeks ago. Yes.
Yes, I am trying to find this movie. So please, anybody that can find it, please let me know. Hit up the Facebook page, the Twitter page. Send us an email. Something. Basically, he plays a character by the name of Gideon. He's a drug lord, drug dealer, and basically the main character in the movie is a cop. Cop's name is Christopher McDonald, and Christopher McDonald's son basically gets caught up with Judd Nelson and his gang, and tries to basically, Christopher McDonald's character, Mickey Flannery, tries to save his son. So it's basically a run-of-the-mill type of movie, but Judd Nelson, once again, pulls off the old charismatic badass charm in this. And it's really one of those movies that it's hard as shit to find, but if you can find it, it's great. I promise you it's great. It's about an hour and 45 minutes, and it's worth every minute of your time.
And Judd Nelson on the cover with a gun.
Yeah, jeez.
Fucking love this guy, man. He's a bad motherfucker. The underrated badass Judd fucking Nelson.
Yes.
Yep. All right, so conflict of interest I'm going to find. I want to watch that shit.
Yes, you had to see it.
I'll find it eventually. And then, like I said, the next movie I knew was 1994 Airheads he was in with...
Brendan Fraser, Adam Sandler, Steve Buscemi, another guy, fucking Steve Buscemi.
Oh, we'll do
underrated as fuck.
We'll do that one night.
A lot. Honestly, Airheads, for a movie that was critically panned by everybody. Mm-hmm. If you go back, it had a lot of even cameos. Chris Farley was in this. Michael Richards, mm-hmm. Joe Montana, mm-hmm. Michael McKean, Ernie Hudson.
Joe Montana is another bad motherfucker.
Yes, I'm looking through the list here.
Yeah.
David Arquette, former WCW champion.
That's right. He was in this movie. Rob
Zombie, my God.
Mm-hmm. Amy
Kurt,
Locane.
For the old school guys from MTV fame, Kurt Loder. Remember him?
Yep. And Amy Locane was in this movie. She was in Cry Baby. She was in School Ties.
Yes.
So I know who she is.
Another guy, rest in peace, the singer of, most people know him singing Triple H's themes, Lemmy. Lemmy was in this.
Really?
Yes.
Guess so. Rob Zombie was in this as Robert Cummings. Awesome. I forgot he was in that, man. But yeah, what a fucking
That's another guy that was in it. I don't know if you're familiar. Alan Covert. He basically is a guy that works with Adam Sandler a lot. He was in Grandma's Boy. A lot of Adam Sandler's like early 2000s, mid 2000s movies.
Yeah, I know who. Yeah, he was the guy from Grandma's Boy. He's in almost all of Sandler's movies. If you look, you'll find him.
Yes, and two people that obviously stood out to me in this movie, Chris Farley, I haven't really talked about him a lot on the show as much as I want to, but one day we're going to talk about him a great deal because he's one of those guys that going too soon. I was a big time Chris Farley fan.
Oh yeah, and last week I watched the Best of Saturday Night Live with him on it.
Yeah,
Chris Farley one.
He gets props, but man, he was a guy that if he had been alive today, he was my generation's John Belushi if he had lived.
Yeah, that's right. Harold Ramis, Stuttering John, was in that movie too. You're right. Weebs is knocking it out here.
Yep, and honestly, this was a kind of like departure for Judd Nelson. This is the first movie that I saw him in where he really wasn't the bad. I mean, he played like the same general snivelly, snake in the grass type of character, but he kind of played like a pussy in this movie a little bit.
He was a scumbag.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He was a scumbag, yeah, basically. Basically, he was just a scumbag. But another, good part, Jimmy Wing was his name in the movie. I loved that movie. That's another really, it's as stupid as it was.
Yeah.
But
and the funny thing is, I'm looking up the results here. I mean, looking up the gate here. In terms of the box office, it bombed. It took 11 million to make, and it only made a little over 5 million. But it found an audience once it went to VHS and eventually DVD years later. It basically found its audience online. I mean, in later years, it became like a cult classic, as the kids say.
Yeah, well, Brendan Fraser finally started getting some exposure. You got to realize a lot of the guys in 1994 in this movie weren't very famous.
Yeah.
They were just starting. Your Brendan Fraser was pretty much just starting. Steve Buscemi pretty much had a couple probably before that. Sandler wasn't doing shit.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was the dude on Saturday. He had only been on Saturday in like a year and a half, 2 years maybe.
Right. Oh, Ernie Hudson. I like Ernie Hudson. He was in this movie too. So, but I mean, this was Joe Montana. Really hadn't started taken off yet till he started doing, he did the Rat Pack movie, and then he started doing, now he's on Criminal Minds.
I mean, if you're looking at the pecking order here in terms of like, mainstream appeal and people that the average fan would know, I would probably say Michael McKean probably would be like the biggest star, even though he wasn't quote unquote the star. If anybody that remembered him or know him from Laverne and Shirley, he probably was the biggest star.
Probably.
At that time.
Yes, he was Lenny in Laverne and Shirley, for anyone who remembers that show. Probably at that time, yeah. This was, I don't think this was Brendan Fraser's breakout movie. I think that was Encino Man, but...
Yeah. Quick trivia note, that was actually his first movie. Before that, he was like an underwear model that they found and said, "Oh, you look good in movies." Okay. They gave him a movie where he didn't have to talk. He just was like, "You just stand there and look pretty, and we'll come up with a role for you." And he was fucking a caveman. Go figure.
Yeah, he was in a TV movie. He was in all TV before he did Encino Man in 1992. So, yeah. So he was only acting 3 years when he did Airheads. So this was probably one of his breakout films too.
Yeah, but like I said, it wasn't. Like I said, it won't win any awards, but it's definitely one of those movies you should check out. It's one of those good, turn your brain off. I had a hard day. I just feel like laughing type of movies.
Yeah, basically, go to IMDb, check out Judd Nelson, find as many movies that look like you'll like. Trust me, all the ones we've mentioned tonight are movies you want to see, especially the early ones, the Making the Grade. If you haven't seen Breakfast Club, I'm not sure where you're from. From the Hip, Billionaire Boys Club, Find It, Sorts. It's probably on YouTube. But all the movies we've mentioned. Now, after Airheads...
Yeah, he kind of like...
Well, if you're looking at his IMDb, he did a lot of TV movies. He did a lot of TV series. He was in Suddenly Susan he did 71 episodes of Suddenly Susan, 1996 to 1999. So he was working those years. And then he did a bunch of TV movie. He was in The Outer Limits in one show, TV. Then he was in 2001. He kind of, I'll say, resurfaced in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yes, thank you. We couldn't let the show go by without bringing it up, man.
No.
This was a departure.
No, let's go back to the old. I mean, we've already talked about this movie in detail on the Kevin Smith episode, and if you want to catch that, check out our YouTube. You can find all the episodes right there. Except the Goodfellas one. I can't get it to go on to YouTube. So, anyway. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. He didn't have a huge part in this movie, but he was the sheriff. And, again, it took me probably the third time in this movie I finally saw him, and I'm like, holy fuck, that's Judd Nelson.
Same here, man, because he had the mustache. I don't know whether that was a Kevin Smith call, not to really kind of like bring attention to him or something for whatever reason. But it took me a good 3 or 4 times watching the movie for me to realize, oh shit, that's Judd Nelson.
It was the first time I saw the movie, but it was like almost the last time he was in it. And I was finally like, oh my god, I saw the nostrils. I said, that's fucking Judd Nelson. So, yeah, he kind of made a comeback in that movie. And then another kind of lull, unfortunately, in his career. You know?
I, honestly, after that, I really, and I feel bad. I haven't really seen too many of his movies post. James Silent Bob, because a lot of them were straight to either DVD or
TV
television movies.
Right, or TV
that didn't get a lot of publicity, so it's like, unless you're really kind of looking up Judd Nelson, you wouldn't know they were out or they existed.
Right. Now, he came back in 2009 and did that same Rodimus Prime voice in the Transformers animated TV series. He was in an episode of Phineas and Ferb as a voice. He did do a lot of voice work. Actually, from the time of after Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, he did either TV movies or voice work, and he's been doing the same thing since. A lot of voice work. He was in the Boondock Saints 2, which I haven't seen that one.
Yes.
I've seen the first one, but I have not seen the second one.
I do want to bring up something. I lied on myself. Obviously, Box, are you a fan of 2.5 Men?
No, but I see he did do a few episodes. I was not a fan.
Yes, he was hilarious on that. He played the character Chris Allen. John Cryer's character. John Cryer's character, Allen, was dating this girl, and Judd Nelson was her ex-husband. And Judd Nelson more or less played a psychotic ex-husband who threatened Allen from time to time. And it was just kind of hilarious. If you ever get a chance to look up, Google or YouTube Judd Nelson 2.5 Men, he was hilarious. He was only on 2 episodes, but they were gold. Gold, Jerry, gold. As I attempt to carry Boxman, as he had to step away for a moment, we are taking calls. So if you want to call in, please don't hesitate to call. 469-206-4466. The number to call in, 469-206-4466. Or you can Skype in THT Podcast and talk some movies with us.
Oh, sorry about that, Anthony. I left you alone for a minute there.
No problem. No
yeah,
problem.
My dog wanted food.
No, I just gave out the number if anybody wanted to call in or Skype in.
Yeah. Whew. Sorry about that. I was running.
Problem?
Oh, he was in Steel with Shaquille O'Neal. He was.
Oh yeah. That was 97. He was. I don't know if you saw that movie. Shaq is terrible actor, but I personally liked him in Steel. It definitely was better than Kazam.
Yeah, Weebs is bringing up a movie from 1999 called Light It Up. Did I see this? Hold on.
Oh, thank you, Weebs. That was a good movie. It was basically about bunch of kids. It's urban movie. Bunch of high school kids that feel like nobody gets them. Teenage angst, that type of deal. They basically take over a school.
Now I want to see this movie. Fucking
Usher,
Forrest Whitaker.
Usher
Forrest Whitaker. Rosario Dawson. Oh, I'll watch just to see her boobies bounce.
Yes, this is a good movie. I haven't seen it in years, but it's from what I remember, it's a fucking good movie. I would check it out if you can find it. Box.
Oh, I'm sure I can. Sarah Gilbert. I know she was in Roseanne.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was. What's her name? You know who I'm talking about.
She was Darlene.
Darlene. Thank you. I knew it was Darlene. Becky and something. I couldn't think. Vanessa Williams is in that movie. Thank you, Weebs. This is another one I will check out on my Judd Nelson list. So I've got this one, Conflict of Interest, and what was the other one?
What?
I don't know. Blue City. Blue
Yes,
City.
I'm looking at some of the names of the characters he played.
This is good for me because I'm going to get a few movies I haven't fucking seen here, man. I like
Yes.
this.
Oh, another movie you might want to check out. I'm looking through his list of movies here on his Wikipedia page. It came out in 2009. It's a movie called A Single Woman. I haven't seen it.
I see it.
But his character name is Jewish Reporter. That's what they have it listed as.
Yeah, that's probably a quick role for him.
Jewish reporter. I love it. They can't just call him a reporter. He's a Jewish reporter.
Holy fuck, I see the movie right here. Let's see. This was a movie with Patricia Arquette. I like her. Karen Black. I don't know many of the women in this movie, but yeah, he's way down in there. He must be a quick scene for him. Must be a little cameo for him. So, I don't know, man, but I got a few movies to watch, and a few here I'm looking at. A movie called Down and Dangerous from 2013. Did we bring up anything else? No, we didn't. Down and Dangerous. Looks like another good movie I'll watch with him. Yeah, always one step ahead of the feds. Oh, they've already got me sold. It's a cop movie. I'm done. Say no more, take my money. I'm there.
And also, I guess, like to bring it in modern times, Judd Nelson is on a comeback trail because he actually is
oh yeah,
on Empire, Billy Barretti.
Yeah, and look, it's saying, this year he's got a movie called Dirty Politics. Let me
Looks
see what that
interesting.
is. He's got another movie called The Bandit Hat. I don't know if these have come out yet. Like I said, Billionaires Boys Club is in post-production. He's got three more movies coming out, so he's on a comeback trail, and I really hope he is, man. I really do. I'd like to see more of Judd Nelson on my movies.
Judd Nelson, definitely.
So let's see, Dirty Politics. I don't know if this movie is out or what, but has anyone ever heard of Dirty Politics? Let's find out if this movie is out.
I've heard of Dirty Politics a lot, but not the specific movie.
Right, the movie. Let's see, film, Wikipedia. Oh, yeah. It's a Hindi language Indian political trailer film. Okay, don't bother with this one unless you really want to. Let's try The Bandit Hound. This looks like he's the voice of a dog. Lou Ferrigno is in this movie, though. That's a good thing. Let's see. Paul Sorvino, Paulie, from Goodfellas.
Oh.
So let's see here. Catherine Bell, Judd Nelson, Lou Ferrigno, Paul Sorvino. A lovable dog named Bandit starts stealing cash to help his adopted family. He unwittingly sets them on a collision course with his dangerous ex-partner. I don't know what that even means. All right, I think we're starting to ramble. I think we might be out of Judd Nelson stuff.
Yeah, because he didn't do, like I said, too much after 2000 that really kind of people would know about or be familiar with, unless you, like I said, you're a diehard Judd Nelson fan and you were, actively following his career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, again, be on the lookout for, I think we mentioned Making the Grade. If you mentioned Breakfast Club, St. Elmo's Fire, From the Hip, New Jack City, excellent. But, any Judd Nelson, like I said, very underrated actor. We figured it would be easier to just do Judd Nelson than just pick a movie tonight. Because I don't know about you, but Judd Nelson to me is like, he should definitely be doing more. But I don't know. He's just not the usual Hollywood guy. So
yeah, he's always kind of seemed like a person that kind of like he wasn't willing to I guess politics so to speak. He was always like his own man.
Mm-hmm.
Did things on his own terms. Fuck with me if you want to. Don't fuck with me. Either way, I'm Judd fucking Nelson. I'm gonna be all right. I guess that was his philosophy on life.
He's one of those guys that I remember him back in Arsenio Hall, and he just took out a cigarette, started smoking on the set, didn't even care. And Arsenio was like, "Man, you still do that?" He's like, "Yup." So now, if you have not seen Judd Nelson lately, he looks a little weird. But
that's his. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Judd Nelson there.
I am looking forward to seeing him in the new Billionaire Boys Club as Ryan Hunt. He played Joe Hunt in the other movie, so I'm not sure. He must be reprising the character as I believe Joe and Ryan were brothers in that movie. So he must be playing the older brother. So I'll be looking forward to seeing him in that. That is a great movie. Hopefully it'll do excellent when it comes out. I really hope so. Kevin Spacey's going to be in that movie. Bokeem Woodbine, who another underrated guy in my opinion.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. I think he is an underrated guy. So, yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to see who else is in that. Going to be in this. Annabelle Jones, Billy... Ryan Rodman, heard of him. Billy Slaughter.
Another movie I actually had to look up that I'm looking through the page here. The Death and Life of Johnny G. You see, as of 2015, Nelson is starring alongside Zimbabwean actress Chloe Tracos in the comedy The Death and Life of Johnny G. While Nelson had the experience the prior year, which would have been 2014, of a fake news story claiming his death, this film is ironically enough about an aging star who deliberately fakes his own death to gain publicity. I don't know who Johnny G is, if he's a real person or not, but just that plot seems like it'd be an interesting movie to look into. The Death and Life of Johnny G. Judd Nelson's in this.
Nice. Yeah. So, I don't know. I guess this show was the salute to the underrated Judd Nelson. We are huge fans. It seems like I've just seen a few more obscure Judd Nelson movies. But
Yes,
then again,
but like I said, this movie, like, I think the goal of this show, Box, is not only to review movies, but to pay homage to those who Hollywood will not. Judd Nelson is a guy who's been overlooked for far too long. I mean, some people could say, like, he had his peak run in the mid-'80s, early '90s, but to me, still, as iconic as his movies were back in the day, he still does not get the credit that he deserves.
Yeah.
And rather than wait for somebody to pass away, we here at THT Movie Review will give you your props way before then, and hopefully you can have a career resurrection, sir, and make some more movies and entertain us for another couple, 3-4 decades down the line.
yes, definitely. So, Anthony, you got anything else more to say about him?
I really can, unless anybody wants to call in. I think we're Judd Nelson down. If anybody wants to call in to shoot the shit, number is 469-206-4466, or you can join us on the Skype, THT Podcast, and just shoot the shit about whatever you want to talk about movie-wise.
We'll give another 5 minutes, see if anybody calls in, and if not, we will get out of here. Let me see one more thing. Yeah, I never saw that Suddenly Susan show, so
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think I might have caught 2 minutes of it in passing back in the day, but it's not something that I went out of my way to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me neither. None of it. So
yeah, let me see here. But I guess we're Judd Nelson out, Box. But are there any movies on the horizon, past, present, that you will recommend to the listeners right now?
Of Judd Nelson's?
Or just in general?
I'll tell you what. I watched, and I told you the other night, I watched The Rat Pack with, who we talked about earlier, Joe Montana, Ray Liotta.
Another guy.
That goddamn movie. I'm sorry. Ray Liotta, Joe Montana. Let me just pull it up. Give me a second here. The Rat. There it is. Right there. Nope. That's the Rack Pack. I'm not sure what the hell that is. The Rack Pack. That's a different movie. Ray Liotta, Joe Montana, Don Cheadle. That's who I was thinking of. William Peterson, who was in the original CSI. He was also in Young Guns 2. He played Pat Garrett in that movie, which I also watched last week. But I watched The Rat Pack, and if you haven't watched this movie, really good fucking movie, man. Really good movie. I recommend, if you haven't seen it, check that movie out. And like I said, I watched the Young Guns movies during the week too. So if you haven't seen either one of those, where the fuck have you been? Young Guns 1, Young Guns 2, watch them both.
Definitely. And since we're on that note, Box, I actually been going through some old movies that I have laying around the house that I ain't watched in a while. But you know how it is. A lot of rainy days here in Philly over the past couple days with the heat, so catch up on some movies. I watched a few, since we brought him up earlier, Andrew McCarthy, caught up on some Weekend at Bernie's. I don't know about you, but those are two movies, especially the second one. I mean, a lot of people kind of shit on the second one, but I enjoyed it. I was just recently watching Weekend at Bernie's 2, and funny as hell. I guess at some point down the line we'll get into those movies, but if you get a chance to look those up, Weekend at Bernie's, look them up there.
Yeah, those are good. I like those movies. Those are really funny.
And another movie, I don't know if you saw on that same note with Andrew McCarthy. This is one that's a little obscure. Came out in 1992. It's called Only You. I definitely recommend it. Has Andrew McCarthy, and he basically is torn between two women. Kelly Preston, who was married to John Travolta, the woman that Charlie Sheen coincidentally almost killed way back in the early 90s.
Yeah.
And Helen Hunt. I don't know if you're familiar with Helen Hunt, right?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, basically Helen Hunt is the stable one. And Kelly Preston is like the party girl that he initially gravitates to because she's the hot blonde, but she's kind of like, you know, how you expect a dumb blonde to be. She's more into the style over the substance. Right. So he's torn between these two women. He gets dumped on his birthday, or I forgot the plot of it. It's been a while since I've seen it. But he basically gets dumped by his girlfriend, and he, through a series of events, he meets Kelly Preston. He winds up spontaneously taking her away on like this expensive vacation, where he meets Helen Hunt. And at first, she's like, matter of fact, she's like the flight agent that helped set up his trip. And they kind of have little beef, little interaction where it's kind of negative. But he meets her on the trip that he takes Kelly Preston on. And eventually they kind of develop like feelings for each other. And he has to decide, you know, love story, which one he wants, blah, blah, blah. Winds up going with Helen Hunt. But it's a good movie that I would definitely recommend looking up if you can find it. Only You came out in 1992.
Yeah. All right. I can, I'll give you one more, and then we'll probably get out of here after that. One more movie, since I kind of like the old 80s movies. And here's another one I watched the other night. It is called Turk 182. It's a 1985 movie. My dad showed me this when I was about 10 years old, 11 years old. Timothy Hutton, Robert Urich, who Spencer for Hire. I don't know if you remember that show from back in the day.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Kim Cattrall is in this movie. Basically, Peter Boyle is in this movie. Basically, Timothy Hutton is the younger brother of Robert Urich in this movie. He gets pissed off. His brother gets hurt as a fireman. He's drinking at a bar. Robert Urich runs into a fire, gets hurt. His brother's trying to get everything paid for, you know, through the doctors and this and that. But since he was off duty and at a bar, they're having a problem paying it. So he does some crazy stunts to a politician in this movie. It's a really good movie. Basically, it's a mayor that he's just completely trashing. He spray paints shit, and he's the character Turk 182. So check out that movie, a 1985 movie. Awesome fucking movie. Anthony, you should check that one out, too. We should talk about that one night.
Definitely.
Another obscure 80s movie. So, I don't know, man. On that note, what do you think?
Let's wrap it.
All right.
Good show. Good shit.
Definitely, man. THT Movie Review. Like I said, we are on iTunes. Just search THT Movie Review. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/THT Movie Review. Twitter @THT Movie Review. We are on YouTube. And, of course, don't forget to check out me and Shaheen on Wednesday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. It's right here on Mixer.com/THT Podcast. Check out our group also on Facebook.com/group/THT Podcast. And that's enough. You can find us all at THT Wrestling Podcast. Sorry. And that's good enough. Anyway, let's get the fuck out of here, Anthony. We'll get out of here to what we started with.
We don't want you to forget about us, folks.
Don't forget about us, folks. And we will see everybody next week with a new movie. I forgot to record half of the fucking beginning, but that's what I have a secondary recorder